Before the SUV boom, before crossovers took over every driveway, and before ruggedness was just another marketing word, there was the real deal. Today, we're diving deep into one of the coolest hidden gems from Mopar's past, the 1966 Dodge D100 Town Wagon. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but it's tough, charming, and a legit slice of automotive history. A survivor from a time when trucks were tools, not toys. This one's up for grabs on Bring a Trailer, and trust us, it's not just another auction listing. So, grab your favorite road trip playlist, kick back, and let's hit the highway back in time, to a moment when the SUV was just being born. Let's rewind the clock to a time before SUVs ruled the road. Back to when utility was about function, not fashion. Before touchscreens, before heated cup holders, before the word crossover became part of daily life, there were vehicles like the Dodge Town Wagon. Specifically, this rugged, honest-to-goodness 1966 Dodge D100 Town Wagon, currently turning heads on Bring a Trailer. At a glance, it might just look like an old van or a funky vintage truck. But look a little deeper, and you'll see something more important. This is a missing link in the evolution of the American SUV. Dodge's answer to the International Travelall and the Chevy Suburban, the Town Wagon, was Mopar's early attempt to blend passenger comfort with real off-road, go-anywhere toughness. And this particular one, it's not some over-restored museum piece. It's survivor spec, beautifully worn in, and running the same 225 cubic inch slant 6 engine it left the factory with. Still wearing factory steel wheels and Dodge logo hubcaps, it's a snapshot from a different automotive era. And the best part? It still works like it was meant to. Simple, durable, unpretentious. Now, before we dive into the nuts and bolts, let's talk about the vibe. If you've ever driven a modern Dodge Durango, you know it's got that old-school swagger. But the Durango is now over a decade old in its current form and definitely showing some gray hairs. If you're after something even older school, with a little more dirt under its fingernails and a lot more soul, the Town Wagon is the rig for you. From the outside, the 1966 D100 Town Wagon almost looks like it rolled out of the 1950s. And that's not by accident. Dodge didn't rush to modernize its body styles in this era. They built things to last, and if a design worked, they stuck with it. So you get that upright, boxy, hard-edged silhouette. It's unapologetically trucky, big, bold, and built for real roads, especially the rough ones. This Town Wagon shares its bones with Dodge's panel vans of the era, but it was designed for people, not plumbing tools. It came fitted with 2 full rows of bench seating and still left enough room behind them to swallow up a family's worth of camping gear, fishing rods, suitcases, or surfboards. Throw in a full-size spare tucked inside, and it's basically a mobile base camp. Under the hood, that slant 6 might not sound like much by today's numbers. 140 horsepower and 215 pound-feet of torque, back when those were gross numbers, not the net ratings we use today. But this engine has a rep. It's legendary for its reliability, known to run for hundreds of thousands of miles with little more than basic maintenance. It's not fast, but it's tough, and it'll cruise all day long without complaint. Paired with a 3 on the tree, manual transmission, it's an engaging drive, simple, mechanical, analog. You actually feel what the vehicle's doing, from the clutch to the shifter to the way it leans into corners. It's the opposite of numb. You don't just pilot the Town Wagon, you drive it. Now, let's talk mechanicals. This Town Wagon isn't untouched, but it's been lovingly maintained. The carburetor's been rebuilt. The brakes and clutch? Recently serviced. Some seals replaced. It's not restored to show quality, but it's ready for the real world. That sweet spot between preservation and usability. Think about it. In the 1960s, most American families drove full-size sedans or wagons. The roads were getting better, thanks to the expanding interstate system. But there was still plenty of backwoods and rough-cut forestry roads that could break a regular car in half. If your vacation spot required climbing a muddy trail or crossing a creek, a town wagon was what you needed. Tough enough to take a beating, big enough to carry everything you own, and comfortable enough for the whole family. And there's something else. It's cool. Not in a loud, flashy, look-at-me way, but in a cool because-it-doesn't-care kind of way. Picture it, surfboards on top, the radio playing the Beach Boys, and the open road ahead. It might not be a classic Woody wagon, but it nails the same, surf van energy. Which brings us to a bit of nostalgia. If you've been feeling sentimental about Brian Wilson and the golden age of California sound, this town wagon hits the right notes. It's not about speed or power. It's about freedom, about loading up your gear, grabbing your friends, and heading off-grid. Forget the latest Durango Special Edition with Hemi badges and blacked-out trim. That's cool in its own way, sure. But if you want the original spirit, the true Mopar adventurer, you wind the clock back to something like this. There's something deeply satisfying about that simplicity. No screens, no sensors, no fuss. Just metal, rubber, gears, and torque. You can roll the windows down and actually feel the wind. You can park it at a trailhead and not worry about door dings. You can camp out of it, wrench on it, or just cruise into town and turn heads with every mile. And let's not forget how rare these are. Dodge didn't build a ton of town wagons, and fewer still have survived in such original condition. Most have been chopped, swapped, or left to rot. This one stands apart, not just for what it is, but for how honestly it's made it to 2024. With vintage trucks and classic SUVs climbing steadily in value, a clean original example like this is more than just a cool ride. It's an investment. But unlike a garage queen muscle car, the town wagon wants to be used. It begs for dirt roads, fishing trips, surf runs, and family getaways. It's not just a piece of history, it's a passport to making your own. So if you're into timeless utility, if you love vehicles with real stories and real scars, this 1966 Dodge Town Wagon might just be the coolest auction find of the year. It's rugged, it's rare, it's real. And best of all, it's ready for whatever adventure comes next. Get ready to turn the key, shift into gear, and drive back into a time when trucks were trucks and utility meant more than USB ports. The Dodge Town Wagon isn't just a vehicle, it's a vibe, and that vibe, still as strong as ever. So there you have it, the Dodge Town Wagon. It's not just a classic truck, it's a time capsule, a sun-faded, steel-bodied reminder of a simpler, tougher kind of utility vehicle. While today's SUVs try to be everything at once, this old Dodge just does one thing, and it does it right. Whether you're heading into the woods, chasing waves, at the coast, or just turning heads at your local cars and coffee, this town wagon is ready to roll. If you love vehicles with soul, with scars, with stories, then maybe it's time to stop scrolling and start bidding. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip back in time, give us a like, drop your favorite vintage SUV in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive classics, like this one. Until next time, keep it vintage, keep it moving,